And
I just realized something. I just realized
so,
something, guys. Oh my God. She used to play pirates with her sister. So she really has been always wanting
oh,
to do this.
oh
Oh,
no.
Bundin!
Welcome to The Story Thinker, a Webtoons and Witcher podcast for superfans with scene-by-scene analysis. Featuring sharp co-hosts for a fuller picture, we dive deep into character psychology, relationships, and theories. We'd love it if you could like, subscribe, comment, and rate us on all podcast platforms and social media. For bonus content, you can support The Story Thinker on Patreon. Let's begin.
It really is.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 157, Paralyzing Parallels, or as Bundin just said, the episode of anxiety, or something like that.
Anxiety, the episode. Yes.
And we are here with Mem, Bundin, and Lily.
Hello.
Alrighty. Okay, so lots of exciting things happening, nerve-wracking things, and it just ends with more nerve. Can I say literally a cliffhanger? It's some kind of hanger. It's like a
cliffhanger.
It's a rope hanger for Will, anyways. He's just there dangling.
Oh my gosh.
It's several cliffhangers in one for this one.
Yeah.
Ooh, okay, let's start the anxiety.
Okay, so we have a person stepping through the door where Lauren is hiding, where Lauren is, right? And we were sure, we're like, okay, what's gonna happen? Kudos to Lauren because they step in, and well, before they step in, we hear still the dialogue going on the ship, and it sounds like it's marching. We'll see what they find in the hold soon enough, and the sooner we're off the ship, the better. That's a lie. So there's something on this ship that he wants. Something to happen, something to meet, something to get. Obviously, there's something there.
I'm just saying, how did they know where she was?
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, no, I mean, this is a very specific place. The only people that knew were, didn't she say that Tristan and Dakin knew?
Yes.
That they set her up there. And so if we rolled out Tristan.
Okay, I don't want it to be Dakin. I want someone to have found out the information somehow, secretly. Like not through Dakin or anyone telling me.
Okay, but think it through, Mindy.
No, I'm thinking it through. I'm thinking it this way. That's my way of thinking.
No, we're not thinking this. Who would it be? Okay, it's William, Tristan. Wait, William, Wait and Kym, do they know where she is?
I think that they would. I feel like Kym and Will would know where she is. Maybe Kieran as well. Maybe she just cannot told him, but I doubt he's going to be able to like help anything.
I don't think Kieran knows because they haven't talked since that episode where he's in the sexy black turtleneck because she has the flashbacks. Sorry.
I feel like this was all planned since then, potentially. I don't know, but like, yeah, even if he did knew, he wouldn't do anything.
I have to disagree because remember, she said, oh, Kieran can't be mad at me for not laying low. Remember, she thinks that.
Yeah, but
but just because she's laying low doesn't mean that he doesn't know where she is laying low.
I don't think he knows.
Even if Kym and Will, my personal opinion is that they might know that she is hiding somewhere. I don't think they know where she's
specific, which means the only people that would know the specific location would be Tristan and Dakin. So unless Tristan is pulling a fast one on us, and God.
No, first of all, we don't know. Maybe they told March. Maybe someone, i.e. March, overheard. Maybe he went snooping through their files. Maybe he just followed them.
It's possible.
It's possible, but not
in a tri-camera.
Probable.
Okay, well, I'm gonna stick my head in the sand over here, and my Dakin is gonna be Lily White forever.
I think you're gonna be in a world of disappointment.
I'm never disappointed. I will face it with equanimity if it
happens. Last episode, you were devastated over March, and everyone, I was like, why is anybody surprised? Why is anybody shocked? I'm so confused here.
That will be me if Dakin turns out to be the bad guy because I love him and I'm just like, I want him to be a good godfather.
To suspect at this point, we're really running out, and I don't think it's going to be Stefan because nobody likes him.
Nobody likes him. I don't see the point of him like doing all this shit. Like, you know, like it feels he's already happy in society where he is and stuff. Like, what's the point of having this like peasant uprising for the people he sees as lower as himself, you know? That's how he sees
I don't
the lower
know.
classes.
His wife's dying. I'm just saying.
Well,
there's more going on there. But anyways, we have like 170 panels together.
All right. So the two people enter into the room, and we hear the radio continuing to transmit sound. Any idea what they were planning to hide this stuff? There might be more. And we, see, looks like something's been pulled out. I guess that's the speaker part that Laura was speaking with. And then we see two people, a man and a woman, looking at each other. And
I don't think it's a woman. Is that a woman?
Yeah.
Zephyr's a
well, Zephyr is a male god, so I always thought that Zephyr was a guy.
Okay, never mind.
Well, the few panels that we had of Zephyr were like kind of androgynous-y, but did have
Zephyr was also one of the suspects for who could be one of the messengers when 𝗏𝗏𝗍𝗃 were changing.
Yes, exactly. They said a male frame and also like one of the frames.
Zephyr is the west wind in Greek mythology, and that is a dude. So
he just has very.
He's androgynous.
Wonderful. I like the best eyelashes I've ever seen.
Mm-hmm.
I know, right?
I've been fooled.
I don't know. There's like a little bit of like shadow in the chin area, so I don't know. Yeah, maybe.
Also,
this could still be
performer.
like leftover circus makeup, you know?
Yeah, like he's a circus performer. He might be a bit more flamboyant potentially. Maybe he likes just to wear mascara. That's fine.
Yeah. Lashes and hair are on point.
But who knows? Maybe it is a woman. But I always thought of it as thought of Zephyr as a man.
Okay, cool. Well, I learned something new today. And now we see our dear Detective Lauren, who was smart enough to hide herself in the bathroom. And we overhear March continuing to lie and saying they wouldn't trust me with that information. The Devils was taken. I have no idea. Also, didn't he, even according to his own timeline as a fake spy, didn't he become a spy after the Devils was taken?
That's what I thought too, but I don't know. I mean, the timeline is all kind of relatively confusing, but I thought that he had just, I don't know.
I mean, I feel like if he just joined, he wouldn't be getting all of this highly sensitive information from the jump. I feel like this is probably something that has been a thing for a while, because there's no way they're going to let the noob learn all the big important things. So he's probably been at this for a while on behalf of the APD, and then probably been sus for longer. But he's almost too sus now. But we can get into that later.
Oh, red herring vibes.
Yeah, really? Wait, you just marked as a red herring?
Yeah, no, we'll continue. We'll get into it when we get.
Yes.
Okay. Wow. This retracts. Okay. So Lauren, clever Lauren, has the toilet seat.
Brilliant.
I know, I love it. Whatever she found. And she thinks to herself, wait, isn't this Zephyr from Circus Royale? And we have another beautiful picture. It happens to be gorgeous, all right. And now we go back to, this episode goes back and forth all the time, which is very nice. Now we have, we're back on the ship, and March is there with Kym and Will. And he says, seems like the ship has been successfully moored. And unfortunately, we have another very tragic death of a lady with wonderful curly hair, or maybe not a lady, right? I'm just gonna, once again, assume based on hair length.
Yeah.
And Bundin, you were very excited.
I was just like, wow, someone with like kind of similar hair for me.
I know, girl, what are they doing to us? They give us some representation and then bam.
Immediately kill you off.
No, yeah, I know that it's because curly hair is a lot harder to draw for like the webtoons. And like making all these panels is hard enough, so I understand why people don't usually do curly hair, but I'm just like,
look at this panel. Oh my god, Bundin, this is like your hair in the wind.
That's what it's just like yeah, you and me very similar. I mean, obviously we're a bit more coily right now, but my hair does look like this sometimes when it's not like freshly, pushed up. Like give it like a day and they all begin to kind of hang lower. They uncoil a bit, and I'm just like, oh, that's like my hair.
Day 2, day 3 hair is like significantly less curly for sure.
But yeah, happy to see it anyways. Rip.
She's looking great in depth though. Dramatic.
So dramatic.
So dramatic.
I saw
dramatic
like,
as fuck.
If so, this is like a Patreon thing for soap, but I don't know if she's still doing that. Like she's doing the dead body thing.
I haven't seen
Oh,
where it's like if you were $50.
So I think that I don't think it does.
Either way, beautiful. Like, so if it's carry on the tradition of having beautifully designed side characters who are not with us for very long.
Should I pay and be a death in season 4?
We give her a name. They pay, but
yeah, should I pay and try to be a death?
I mean, you know what?
Maybe I'll do
it.
it. I'll pay. Yes. I'll pay to be a dead character.
Exactly.
I don't know if it's still a thing, so check if you're on Patreon. Oh, yeah, you are on Patreon, aren't you?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yes. My husband sees the bill every month and goes, "What the fuck?" Yeah.
Okay, we'll petition her.
I patronize way too many people, honestly, and my husband is telling me that I need to chill out on that. But
I'm on like 3
He's
people's
okay with
Patreon.
it because it's supporting artists. That's the thing. I'm like, I'm supporting artists. Hello,
right?
I'm
unemployed. Maybe I should get rid of some of these. Purple Hyacinth is $1 a month right now. I'm chilling with my Purple Hyacinth Patreon.
How much is it to be a dead character?
I think at the time it was like 15, and it only has to be once, but I don't know if that's a thing anymore because I think too many people did it.
Did it?
I'm not sure. You might want to hit up Sofa and see if that's a thing still.
I'll hit up Soph. Maybe I can use my podcast clout or something.
Yeah, I'm going to ask her too. Like, please. We're very frequent co-hosts.
No, but I actually don't want her to know about the podcast. I'm like, please don't listen to this.
No, Lily's just like, if you heard the things I said about your character.
Sorry.
Oh, sorry.
If you see anybody with like bright pink hair, you'll know what I did.
Right?
Oh my God. Right? No, Bundin, I will fake my death like Kieran if she finds out the things I have said on this one.
In next podcast we'll get like a fake heart and we'll have your husband like set up a whole thing and just hold it up, be like, wait, I found this in our bedroom.
Oh no.
Along with the Hyacinth.
Oh no.
She's definitely not chilling in the living room right now.
I got back and listen to some of our podcasts and I go anyways.
Well, rest in
what
peace.
What if they do? They listen to us while they're like creating like the next storyline. That would be so embarrassing. Oh my gosh.
I don't know because if they do, they haven't taken any of my hints
that you know of yet.
Ma'am. Okay, let's keep going.
Now, someone, I don't know who, says sniper from above in the crow's nest. And we had a really nice panel of Kym and a little bit of Will and Marsh looking up and at the crow's nest, which I just learned is the name for that thing. Take cover. And then we switch back to Lauren, and Lauren is dashing out of the bathroom with the thingamajiggle in her hand. And this male is looking back at her and she smashes him in the face. And then looks like she does the same. She throws it at Zephyr. Oh, okay, I remember. And she runs out. So they're like, one of them's on the floor and it looks like Zephyr's, still up. And then we hear over the radio, we need to stop the snipers. Lauren is running out. Zephyr's also, managing to get up pretty quickly. And we hear, 𝗥𝗲𝗱𝗮, we're on it. And Zephyr runs out. And then we hear March. Okay, I'll cover for you. But it's a lie. Son of a...
I'm going to stab this person right now in the face, but I can't because March is a cartoon character in a comic I read. So
he's being too sus right now. It's so too much.
Harry.
Yeah, okay, Lily's glasses and a fish in the sea. It's a red herring. That was bad. I'm sorry.
It's too obvious. It's just too obvious. They're throwing too many things our way.
I mean, if it is that he is genuinely involved in this stuff, but maybe he's trying to like mess with things from the inside in his own way, but he's still like, not giving information, not like doing all these things. Maybe he could be like a Kieran-like character who it's like he does all these things, but it's a means to an end, or that's maybe how March sees it, like potentially. But I don't know. He's being too much right now, and I don't think I trust him being 100% evil now at this point. No. But wouldn't it be interesting if it was? They keep him being this sus than he is. I don't know what to expect, because they could just go that route, and I wouldn't be disappointed. But like, you know, there's something afoot. There's definitely
something afoot, and I think with Lauren commenting in her like internal monologue about how he just started lying a few days ago, none of this is making sense. A lot of his answers are lies, but they're still kind of vague. Like, I feel like they're stringing us along. They're trying to make it, oh, it's March, but everything's going to tie in together. We just have no idea how, and we're going to go, oh my God, I can't believe that we didn't think of that.
Yeah.
They're very good at that.
Yeah, they're very good at that.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know. But I said before, like, my crack theory was that March is like the leader, but trying to let Loon do stuff because he wants to get out of it. I don't know. So I'm down for something like that, because I do think that March has displayed a lot of good qualities that seem genuine caring, genuine concern for people, and like 𝗪𝗏𝗃. So I'm good with that. I don't know if I would pull it a red herring.
I mean, he did say in the cemetery episode that something along these lines, like you have to be willing to do no matter what. Like, he said something along those lines. Like,
yeah, he said a very, it's almost, in hindsight, it's a very Kieran line. You have to be willing to do whatever it takes to get to the end, which is very similar to what he says when they first make their deal on the bridge.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, he said something very similar, which makes me think that, you know, because that we know of, March has nobody left, right? Like, his wife is dead, his kid's dead. I don't know if there's anything else that the Phantom Scythe could be holding over his head.
Mother, father, sister, brother.
He could be a Sandman type character, who's to say? But like, they have nothing on him now, but that Sandman only turned once his daughter had been killed, and then they had nothing over him anymore. So he could like burn the world, and they couldn't do anything that would hurt him personally other than killing him.
I don't know. I don't know how this is gonna go, but I feel like it's not. I feel like March is not the betrayer. It is way too obvious.
I have a theory, but I'm gonna wait till the end to say anything.
Okay.
Awesome. So meanwhile, March just leaves them to their fate or whatever. We'll see. And Lauren makes it out of the building, and you see it's like freezing outside because her breath is sublimating. And unfortunately, you see those two poor souls on the floor. And she runs out of there. And she thinks to herself, Uncle, Kym, Will, please be careful with March. And she's panicked. And we go back to the ship, and Kym and Will are climbing up the ladder. Creak. They're climbing. And the young man on top of the ship is really nervous. His hand is shaking. And he's like, God damn it. I was questioning. I was like, why can't you just shoot them while they're climbing up? I guess.
There's people shooting at him from on the ship and further back. I'm assuming that they probably have snipers of their own, potentially, like hidden out in the buildings, like by where Tristan is, potentially. So that's kind of keeping him from being able to do anything. Now that he's been spotted, he can only do so much. Now that there's a bunch of cops with guns around that can just go be like, oh.
But now March is looking at him, right? March is looking at that sniper.
So I couldn't understand. Okay, so he looks up, and it looks like they make eye contact. At least that's what I would assume. And
they
then
didn't show the eye contact, though. That's why I'm like wondering.
Right. So
I know they don't show it, but is it just kind of implied?
So the way I read it, it first looked to me like he was looking at that guy, and he was like, "Don't shoot!" Like that was what his eye language was, and that's why he was like, "God damn it!" But no, that doesn't make any sense based on his later action. So I don't know. Maybe he's just abandoning them. I have no idea.
So what I read it as is that guy. See, if you notice, like real quick, that there's some like it looks like gunfire that goes by him. Next to him. I think that he fired warning shot. He specifically tried to miss him. He wasn't aiming for him, but it was kind of like a, like almost like get his attention, and then like he did what he had to do. But
interesting.
March fired warning shot?
I think he shot at him.
Okay.
I mean, his gun isn't really smoking. He's not holding up his gun like he shot him. I don't know. I think he's just looking to see if the sniper has all the attention of everybody so he can sneak off.
Well, because he does have his, like, let me see. Sorry. So there's like, it looks like something goes past him, like right here on this side, and then right over here on this.
It does, but couldn't that just be some of the other ATST snipers?
It could be, but he does have his gun in his hand like that. So, and he's looking straight at him. So I read that as like March fired a warning shot and then like stared at him, like maybe making eye contact. So I don't know.
Curious.
That was just the way I read it earlier.
Yeah, interesting. So I don't know. I mean, it's confusing because if like, well, he just said he's not going to cover Kym and Will, basically. So if his warning shot is don't kill these two people, then it doesn't make sense with his words. But I don't know. Whatever it is, he does take the opportunity to go under the deck and into the hole. But clearly there's something there or someone there that he needs / wants. What do you think? What could there be?
Maybe he needs to talk to somebody. Maybe there's something in the cargo that he personally wants to find and take for himself. Maybe he needs to report on something. Maybe there's more than what they reported was going to be in the cargo and he needs to inspect that. I think it could be talking to a person though, but maybe he's going to blow this whole thing up.
I was thinking that maybe he was just leaving the fight. Like he was like just hiding out and letting the APD and
like
that looks so suspicious though. Like
it does, but like it could be like, oh, you know, everybody from APD died and I barely made it alive, but really he just like missed the whole battle. I don't know.
He could just jump ship though when nobody's looking, you know, if he wanted to bounce.
That's fair.
I feel like there's something under there that I agree. I think there's something down there that he's like looking for.
And if we're going with the theory that March is not actually sus, that he's double Asian, double whatever, maybe he wants to thwart the Phantom Side's plans by getting something very important from the hold.
I don't know what though. I'm at a loss.
Dylan, I bet it's Dylan.
Oh my God! Don't you even dare, Mindy.
No.
Say his name.
Yeah, what if there was a person that they needed on this ship coming from abroad? We know that the Phantom Scythe has sent people abroad before. Timmy's sake, Kieran was abroad for a bit, though we don't know why.
We still better figure that out. That is
they've made that a point.
Taking my mind.
I want to know why he went to Hawaii.
Yeah, of course.
No, I still have that headcanon that we talked about where you went to like somewhere in Asia and he was doing like samurai training underwater.
Oh yeah, he went to this world's equivalent of Japan and trained with the katana and stuff.
Yes, he got trained with the katana. That's why he always dresses up in like ninja outfits. For anything he got is like cool threads. Definitely from his time abroad. So I don't know what March is. I don't think he's hiding. I think he's looking for something.
And you know what? We'll see. So now we have Tristan. Sorry, that was the alarm. I have to turn it off. Did I turn it off? Okay. So Tristan is he spots them through the binoculars and he says, 2 officers up on the main mast, ceasefire towards the crow's nest. I repeat, ceasefire towards the crow's nest. Which, what does that mean exactly? What do you mean a ceasefire towards the crow's nest? Like
because Kym and Will are climbing up, so a bullet might hit them instead, so they're going to leave them to it.
Okay, so they don't accidentally get
shot.
They've
been firing up at him to keep him from shooting, but now that Kym and Will are almost there, they're going to stop. Yeah.
Hilarious. I was so like clearly very tired when I read it because I was like, wait, they want to do a ceasefire, but like they're fighting. They're not doing like a ceasefire, like a peace treaty. I was like, what? Okay, thank you.
It's okay. This whole thing is very confusing with all the switching.
A lot of it was dark also.
Yeah.
It was hard for
it's kind of like the factory arc where you had to read it through a few times to understand like where people were and the angles and like what was going on.
And for once, I think I pretty much understood everything. Surprisingly, I only read it the one time, and I feel like nothing was really confusing for me. Maybe I just know boats. I don't know.
That's what I was just going to say. I was like, okay, but you know boats, ma'am. Like, you understand all of this mooring ships nest.
I watch Pirates of the Caribbean a lot. Reminds me of home.
I actually stayed on a ship for a while and had to like on a tall ship like that when I was in high school and had to learn how all this stuff. But so that was a little bit easier. That definitely made it a little bit easier. So what we need to do is just like what we needed for this episode was a scale model of like a sailing ship. But yeah,
I need a model of just everything to figure out where everybody is because I'm confused.
It's just really dark. Like all the panels are just really dark.
It's always been Soph's thing is kind of she goes darker than how we would typically have our stuff. I think she watches them on really high quality screens and has her brightness pretty high so that she can see all the stuff. But you know, it's kind of how it is. I think a lot of webtoon authors do that, but Soph's style and how she renders is generally darker than usual. So
yeah, so they are climbing up, and the guy is very, very anxious. He sees that the ropes are moving on either side of him, and he's like really nervous and flips the gun from side to side, but he isn't shooting yet. And now we see Kym and Will are they give each other eye contact. Kym motions to the right, and Will nods with a little smile on his face. They're having this great communication. They are in sync. Clearly, they're destined to be together.
Clearly.
And Kym jumps onto a little platform while Will, which means she goes to the other side, and Will climbs up a little, but then he sneakily extends his helmet up. And the guy is like, the PS guy is like so anxious that he just like, immediately shoots it because he is not thinking because he's so nervous. And guess what? It was just the helmet. He's like, huh? And meanwhile, Kim's like, tap, tap. And she's like, hey, fucker. And he turns around and like, ah. And then she bashes him in the face with her pistol.
Amazing. That's our girl.
Yep.
She got like a
him too.
Yeah, she like knees him in the junk and then smashes him across the face
she pistol whipped him.
I think that's just her fist. Like it's hard to see though because I can't.
No, she's got her gun in her hand.
I think she's got
she does. She does. Okay, it was just really hard to see because there's like I had to make it bigger for a second because it was hard to see. I didn't know what was going on there for a second, but yeah, she kind of demolishes him. Like
yeah.
Well, that's because what she says next is basically, I love you, Will.
I know, she does.
That's for shooting at my partner.
Demonic grin.
Unhinged.
The man I love.
I love it.
Don't you dare come near him.
She's like, you were about to shoot my partner? That's hilarious. I'm going to turn your face into a pancake. That is something that Kym would say, I think. But yeah, no, just love the I won't say I love you. Maybe that's for shooting at my partner. Will be there always.
At least this is better than Kieran's like, I'm not indifferent to you anymore.
I know.
I mean, that was so bad. Lauren is still like, God, I'm such a burden and doesn't see it for what it is. But, you know, she's dealing with her own stuff. She's got literal demons chasing her. So, you know.
We'll get into that later. Girl's got some issues.
So, yeah, so she's running and she, dashes through an alley. She doesn't go to one side because there's people there. I don't know if they're PS people or just regular people. I don't know. But she decides not to go there. And she's like, God damn it. And we see Crunch, there's snow. And she says, the snow makes it impossible to lose him. Okay, now I realize Zephyr isn't him. Okay. And I have to get out of here. And she runs. We're back to the ship. And Kim's like, question for you, my guy. Would you happen to know all of her barges? Well, she's trying.
She's so cute.
I wonder if they still think that Lauren's on the other end of the line. They
probably
do.
I think they do.
Because
they probably do, but I don't think it's like they're in the middle of so much. I don't think it's occurred to them that she hasn't said anything in a while.
I think so too.
The time span of all of this happening has probably been like 30 seconds.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. I think they're caught in the moment. They're doing their thing. They've not even registered the fact that Lauren hasn't said anything in like the past 2 minutes, and she's literally running for her life. And she's like throwing the question there so that Lauren can hear whether or not it's a lie, but we're not gonna know because Lauren's not there.
And well, he just says "huh" anyway, so it's not really like a yes or no response.
So he's got a nose scar. I've just realized he's got a Shiro nose scar, like from Voltron. For anybody who had to watch that show.
From his reaction, by the way, it sounds like he doesn't actually know who Oliver Barch is.
Yeah.
No, I don't think
I mean, that's kind of fair though. They don't really like, for the most part, they don't really know who each other is, do they? Like,
I mean, I think depending on like if you move in the same circles, so like, well, Bella and Kira know each other because they're both assassins and they both had to do missions together. So that's understandable. But like, I think if you're an average grunt, like, you know, I mean, he's a sniper, so he clearly has some skill.
He's so young.
I don't know. He probably just
Barch
doesn't
is
know.
like an apostle or someone, you know, relatively high up. They still wouldn't know.
Exactly.
Like Kieran is so high up and he doesn't even know who his messenger and apostle are. You know?
Yeah.
And now we have, it looks like Tristan, it sounds like Tristan saying, careful, another sniper coming up on the mizzen mast. Another.
What does that mean, Bundin?
The other mast.
Okay, I actually don't know what that one means, but from the looks of it, it's like a lot of these ships have 3 masts. That's like the one in the back, toward the back of the ship. So they're in by like the front central one, because that's where the tallest point would be, where the crow's nest would be. So that one's like behind it. I don't know everything about ships.
The third tallest mast, meaning it's the shortest one.
It's like 3. So you have like in the front, and then and a bunch of other sails.
Cool.
Also, we have a minute less.
Less.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, so we could.
Okay.
So Kym looks over and she sees this other person with a rifle shot across their back. And, you know, I like the way that they highlight little Kym and little Will. It's really cute.
They did that a lot in the factory arc too, because a lot of the panels were so dark, they would like outline them like that.
Yeah, it's helpful. It really helps you distinguish. Also, all the mist and stuff really would obscure them. So I'm glad that took the liberty to kind of silhouette them to make it easier for us to see.
So they take cover, and meanwhile the guy is like sort of hunched over in Will's arms, and then we see Kym's 2 hairs and a rope, and Will's like, Kym, you're not seriously thinking, and Kym's like, this is where she has the diamonds in her eyes. She's just grinning exultantly. She tap, steps out onto the railing, and she grabs the rope and says, I've always dreamt of doing this. And her hands are out.
Wait, you're right. She does have the diamonds.
And I just realized something, guys. Oh my god. She used to play pirates with her sister. So she really has been always wanting to do this.
Oh, Bundin!
I'm gonna go and do that in the Discord when I send this after we record. I'm sending that. I'm gonna break some bitches' heart.
You just broke ours right now.
I know. I got a little prickly in the eyes, not gonna lie. A little bit of stink. She's like, she really did always want to do this.
So without the sound on right now, it's so easy to imagine the Pirates of the Caribbean.
That's what I was thinking. I'm just in my mind. I'm like, dun, 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 dun.
Somebody needs to make a reel of this when it's available on Instagram for the
that was the plan. As soon as you said it, Bundin, I was like, okay, that's the clip. And actually, I'm gonna put the Pirates music behind it.
You better.
Yeah.
Please.
Oh, okay. Well, she looks very happy nonetheless. She is capable of finding joy even in the difficult moments. Well, clearly because they're in a dogfight. And she's just pushes off and she yells, laughs like a maniac, and Will's like, "You crazy! I hate your woman." Just his
and that's his way of saying I love you.
And that's his way of saying I love you. They both said I love you during this battle, just not to each other.
Realize 3 of the main 4 have said I love you in their own ways, except Lauren.
Oh my god!
Get me started on her. We don't
have. She's running for her life right now. We could cut her some slack.
There's something. It's because that Dylan dude, and with all due respect to Dylan, who's probably dead and very sad.
No,
Dylan is blocking them.
I am done.
No.
I'm done with Dylan. We will get into it later. I am so
sleep paralysis.
I have had it up to here with Dylan. We are done.
Okay, fine. So meanwhile, Lauren is running away, and she runs straight into an abandoned building under construction. Wow, this looks very familiar.
Why would she do these? Like, she just keeps making the same mistake after mistake after mistake, just repeating everything. She never learned.
I mean, I think that it's smart to go here. There's a lot of places you can hide. Like, he can't search through this entire area. It'll be really hard. So this is probably her best bet, other than because it shows that running in the open is not really an option because the snow shows her footsteps.
Yeah.
And so she's also freezing.
That's true.
Still freezing, right? In the building, it shows like she's shivering. So
yeah, I think that this was the best option for her rather than running out in the open still. I think going into one of these buildings, hiding in one of these places, like there's so many places you could hide in a construction site. I think that she could find a way if she didn't get her trauma coming back at her again. But you know, we can't control
her, you know, like they hit her in an area where there really wasn't like a lot of people at all, except for the guards.
I know.
That's a little
hidden in plain sight might have been easier. Yeah.
So unfortunately, it's also really dark. Well, I guess it's good if she's trying to hide, but she can't see anything. She's huffing and huffing, and she bumps into something. She knocks her foot down. She's huffing, running again. She crashes into something, falls on the floor. So for her, I mean, this is probably very painful. And now we see Zephyr. He's outside. And I actually wanted to look up what the building says. It's something
Traffic
fines doubled in work.
Right. No, the stuff on top.
Let me turn up my brightness.
Something in Russian, Cyrillic letters.
It looks like it's Cyrillic almost.
Yeah. It is.
Some of these letters are Cyrillic.
Yeah. It shouldn't have an L. I don't think they have an L in that.
Yeah, no, but that letter is definitely not.
I think it's the post.
That is not English.
That is not a Latin letter.
Yeah, no.
It's a square. I think it's a D or a P. No, P. Anyway, I used to read Russian, but so Zephyr's like playing hide and seek, huh? You see the mark on his forehead. So he knows she's
now we know it's not Bella.
Definitely not Bella.
Remember, we thought it was Bella from Stream.
Oh well.
Oh, was this a character that y'all saw in the stream? Because I didn't see this.
Yeah, because she was drawing this panel, and when it's not shaded with the lashes and everything, we actually thought it was Bella. We thought it was Bella.
Knew what she was doing.
Oh, she totally did. Yeah, because it looked like she just didn't have her lipstick on, you know, and like got out of, you know, the ADP and.
Zephyr is such a beautiful man. God.
I know, right? I thought it
was it's like if you mixed. It's like if you mixed. If like Bella and Kieran had a baby, you know?
It does.
You don't speak of such things. Kieran is one person's only.
Also, maybe a bit of Kym in there. I can see the blue.
A little bit, yeah.
I think all the characters look the same, but whatever. Many of the characters really look the same. But we're back on the ship, and Kym is kicking the rifle away from the new sniper, and the sniper dashes towards her. She dodges. And now he slams into her, pushes her, slams her against the railing. She looks over the side at the water below, and she remembers when she fell off the building. Although I will say her chances of survival are much higher in the water. So
yeah,
that's fair.
Jumping from that height in the water, you should be okay. If you like land correctly.
Yeah, it's not so high.
It'll hurt.
It'll hurt, but you also need to make sure you go out far enough, because if they're in the middle, if she falls off, she hits the deck.
Yeah, that's not good.
Yeah, definitely not good there.
So she flashes back. The guy is about to punch her. She catches the guy's wrist, kicks him again, and takes him away from the deck. He crashes on the floor, and she's like, she puts her foot over him. She's like, crazy and unhinged, but
Queen.
Yes, it's hilarious.
A role model for us all.
And she heard his words and remembered his words because she was very excited by his praise.
He's so cute in this next panel. Oh my god.
I know. I think I'm foaming at the mouth because we haven't had Kieran in so long now. I'm like, Will is looking extra tasty.
No, Will's always been tasty. It's just we have
He's always been tasty, but like tasty in the way that like he's like my fifth favorite dessert and not my favorite dessert, you know? And when you're really hungry and you haven't had dessert in a really long time, your fifth favorite dessert is like number one right now.
But also he's looking at the woman he loves and he's smiling. Like that smirk is just like
so
loving his
cute.
eyes.
So hot. Ugh.
That is awesome. So, the guy in the back of them, who, you know, his hands were tied up. He's pretty clever. He looks in the back and he sees that there's a hook. So he uses the hook to cut through his hand restraints. And now we have a panel of Kym noticing, and she sees him dashing towards Will, and she's like, oh, that panic. And Will looks around, also panics, and the guy has pushed Will, and Will flies over the railing. And if you said he looks like dessert, now he looks like an extra special chocolate on top.
Gorgeous here. Look at this panel. He's stunning. Who falls like that? I haven't even seen Kieran fall like that. Wow.
Yeah, he is a very handsome young man. Well, he has blonde hair, of course. Could be no other way. And
someone compared that. I've been like clicking back on the Discord to see, because the mod life never leaves you. And I saw in the past chat someone compared him falling there to this art that Soph did. Let me turn down the lighting. Never.
Oh yeah.
He's got like the lines attached to his back, and I was just like, oh.
Yeah.
So just thought I'd mention that now.
So he falls down, but he is clever and he grabs onto a rope, and he is hanging on with one hand onto this rope with the other, you know, malevolent dude on top. And we switch back to Lauren. Lauren is on the floor, but she notices a lighter in front of her, miraculously. And she picks it up.
I was wondering, did she have that on her? Or like, is that just there? Whatever.
I think she had it on her. I don't know.
Yeah, same. Because like, the odds of just finding
it on you. Do you smoke and we not know?
That's what I was wondering. But you never know when you need a lighter in winter. You never know. She seems like a person who tries to be prepared for things.
And they don't really seem to have the same kind of technology that we do, so they might be lighting a lot more candles than we would. So,
fun fact: the lighter was invented before the match.
Was it really?
Yep. Lighters were invented before matches.
Are you serious right now?
As far as I know. I heard that as a fact once. I might be wrong, but yeah, I'm going to fact check myself now.
We're done.
But yeah. Surprised.
I'm going to look it up once we're done. Hold on a second.
That makes no sense.
I wouldn't be surprised, but yeah, still.
All right, so while we look it up.
Writing it down.
Lauren's like, where the hell am I? And she sees, wow, this is scary. She sees a bunch of crates. Wow, that looks very familiar. And she walks around. She's like, there must be another exit somewhere. And she's walking around. She sees barrels and sandbags and, you know, beams. And she's getting nervous. She's sweating. And she is remembering the factory arc where she and Kieran were looking around. And when they were trapped and they're running around. And there's just the setting is very, very similar. She's running. She's huffing. She's sweating. We see her memories of when they found all the boxes of nitro. And we see more boxes, right? So they're reminding her, gulping, running, tapping. And the lighter stops working, of course, at this very opportune moment. And now she's fully in the dark again. And now we have Will hanging on again. And the Phantom Knife dude, of course, takes out a knife. And he just starts his, you know, merry work of cutting Will off and leaving him plunging to his death.
This is really not good for anybody right now.
And he is.
Is there like another rope he can grab?
I was thinking if it gets cut, he could just hold on and swing like Kym did. So right? It's not like the worst thing.
There you go.
Matching partners, right? Partners in swinging.
Partners in insanity.
Falls and slams into the mast really hard.
Wait. I see his rope actually. It looks like it's hanging down. So if it does get cut, he'll probably fall. So he'll need to try and grab other ropes, but then he could just cut all of them. You could tell that he could cut all the ropes that Will could grab.
Oh my God, Will, jump to another rope. Come on.
Ninja
warrior training. Come on.
If he could probably like get close enough to the like rope ladder, and that would take a long time to cut through. I'm just saying, you could scale down that pretty quick.
Hope so. So Lauren is now very upset. She tries to reignite the lighter, but it doesn't work. And now we have scared of the dark now, Lauren. Oh boy, she runs faster. She's like, where's the goddamn exit? I'll light it up for you. With a monster face. And, she herself is like double-edged and going, she's clearly having some sort of breakdown. And she's like, no. And then we see the image of her running as a little girl in the ATST superimposed with her running now. It's great. And there's more of that. And now we have a timer from the bomb. So we have.
Oh, that's a great panel.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Running with the timer. That's a really great panel.
That's a good panel. That's very cinematic. Very.
I know it is.
It's framed really well.
Right there. That's a Michael Bay film.
It matches your glasses.
Running away from an explosion.
Yeah. But like it's framed well, like cause she's in the center. You have the door framing her the hallway, whatever, and then the numbers. It could be a movie poster.
Everything is red, right? Like the ATST and the bomb looks like it's already starting to explode behind her. She's huffing, she's terrified. The counter, is going down, and she hears again. There's no running away from the truth, coward. Time is running out. Does she think of herself as a coward? It's so sad. I don't think she's not a coward at all.
Confused as to why her internal monologue is like this. Like, who is actually, we've seen this several times, right? Like after she gets back from it all kind of starts to happen after the factory arc, right? She's in the great, oh gosh, what's the number? The one where Kieran shows up and he looks so fabulous. He's that meltdown in front of the mirror. Yes. And she sees herself like mirrored as almost this kind of demon-esque persona. And she starts to have that internal monologue, or where it sounds like it's an outside voice. And then we see it again at the, not factory arc, Circus 2.0. We've seen it several more times, and it's really disturbing. I just want to know, why is she thinking of herself this way?
Well, we know why she's thinking of herself as a coward. It's because she doesn't have the balls to go and ask Kieran about Dylan, because she's afraid of the answer, because she is pretty sure that Kieran knows something, but she's too afraid to ask. Because she's been trying to do this for 10 years and she hasn't let it go. And the idea that after all of this, that Dylan could still be dead is heartbreaking to her. So it's almost easier for her not to know and to kind of still have that hope. But she needs to know in order to be able to heal and move on, which is like the whole point of Purple Hyacinth is like, healing and stuff. So I think she just needs to is
this voice and this weird demonic persona that she's seeing / hearing, is it her or is it Dylan? Because it kind of seems like it's Dylan.
It is her, but well, obviously everything is her. This is all things in her mind that has been like conjured up. This is her part. This is like how is she dealing with the trauma. This is like a physical manifestation of it.
But why is her physical manifestation coming up as like Dylan becoming more and more
scary
ass looking?
Yeah, I think the factory changed a lot of how she thought of Dylan in a way, because I think being in another explosion sort of sent her right back to being in that moment. And before the factory, Dylan was still a figure that she looked at with like, guilt and remorse, but he was always sort of this angelic figure. The first time we see Dylan, one of the first times is in that dream that she has, and it's like so happy and beautiful.
And childish, his memory is like totally intact, and he's just become progressively more. I don't know if this is a sign. I think Dylan is dead. I'm really in the dead Dylan club. He really needs to be dead for me, but I don't know if this is some kind of weird sign.
That Dylan become a bad person. Like that Dylan is like now in the fandom site and like doing bad things, and she's like, "Oh my god, it was
maybe." I don't think so, because I mean, me personally, I wouldn't like the direction the story would go if Dylan was alive and evil and part of the fandom site still. I don't think that's it. It makes most sense that he was the protectee and he died.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like, I don't even know who else it could be at this point. They're really just pointing to everything.
I don't know. I have to go look at Dylan again, but hear me out. He was with kids who became assassins, right? Well, who was just sent to her? Supposed assassins. And who of the two assassins sent to her was closest in her age range and seems to be focused on a lot? maybe Zephyr. I don't know. That'd be interesting if it was the same person.
Well, you have successfully thought of a very unique theory, ma'am.
I know it's super unique and it came out of left field, but you know what? Let's just roll with it. Anything could happen. Yeah. We never know.
I love the
eye color is the same, but okay.
Yeah, the eye color and the hair. It's literally the opposite eye and hair color.
I mean, hair dye does.
She recognize him before she hits him with a toilet seat.
hair dye. I mean, last time she saw him, he was like a child, like a prepubescent child. This is a grown man, so I don't know. And you know, like it's funny because one of my kids, their eye colors did change like super late. Like you know, usually your eye color is your eye color by the time you're about a year old, but one of my kids' eye colors did change super late, so who knows? But anywho, look, we're just gonna. That's why I said I can't remember what Dylan actually looks like. I know the hair color is different, but gray, you know, again,
like, either white,
like, there's been
gray eyes
of like toe-headed,
like silver white.
Was it?
Yeah, it's
like okay. I just remembered his hair was super light.
His hair and eyes are roughly the same color.
I mean, there's like at least 5. Okay, because I was gonna say, like, I know at least 5 different kids that I went to school with, like from kindergarten through like senior high, and there was at least 3 that started off as like toe-headed blonde that now have super like your color hair, dark. Lily and Bundin, like I'm not joking. There's at least 5 people that I've known my whole life whose hair has like that made that drastic of a change.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, no, my siblings are both blonde, and they both went from like white. Well, my brother especially, he used to have like white blonde hair because he used to be out in the sun all the time when he was like really young. Now his hair is like very dirty blonde, and the same with my sister. But my sister dyes her hair. But yeah, her hair would be a very, very dirty blonde as well.
My cousin has pictures of himself from when he was like 6 or 7, and he had red hair. But funny enough, he's like Mexican and Asian, so we don't know where the red hair came from. And now his hair is like super, super dark, like dark brown. So yeah, so that's I was like, I don't know. Are contacts a thing in this world? Who knows? Are like hair dye?
No. Dylan's dead. Rest my case.
All right.
I just was like, it's just a crack theory. I have a lot of those because, like, I mean, like, what Bella became a circus performer. You know, Kieran, who was with him, was an assassin who technically was raised up. He was raised by Redcliffe, right? Or was that by somebody else?
No, not Redcliffe. He was he's one of Apostle Four's. I think Apostle 4 is the one who like dealt with him, because his messenger is Messenger 4. But there was some guy that like dealt with him. He's got blue eyes.
Assassin training when Dylan dies. I guess we don't know.
Yeah. He started his assassin training before that to keep Dylan alive.
Right.
They threatened to kill them both.
Yeah.
Unless he did that. And
that's
he was like,
true.
Okay.
But we just don't know how far into it.
Probably around the time that he decided to turn against them in the first place, because at that point, again, nothing to lose. He has all this training, or he's beginning to get all this training, and that's when he killed his first person when he was like 17. He was abroad for a while. I think that Kieran, like, Dylan, if he did die, he would have died around the time Kieran was like 16, 17, and that would have been Kieran's first murder that he did without orders that Bella talks about. Chandelier Man, I think. So
I agree.
Yeah.
So, anywho,
I don't know. I think that he is kind of still alive, though. I don't think that he was actually killed. Like, I have a hard time. Like,
I know. Wait till we get to seeing Dylan, and we'll talk about.
Okay. We actually see. Okay.
So Will is hanging by a thread, and Kym comes forward. She's like, Will, and we see her flashback of her with the therapist after the factory arc. And she asks, have you been to therapy before, Miss Liddell? She says, hang on. And she says, yes, I was 11. And we see her, what is that in her hand? Oh, it's her gun. So she puts her hand toward her gun. And the therapist says, the report stated that you've had a lot of difficulties with guns in the past. Does this still interfere with your duty sometimes? And she says, not anymore. Which would make total sense, right? She's the sharpshooter. So it would make sense that she's like, okay, I'm owning this. This is the thing that killed my sister. I am going to now make it, you know, I'm going to be in total control of guns.
Right.
Do we know if her sister was shot? I mean, it's implied now. That's what I think, maybe, is that her sister was shot.
And I think she was. I think in that flashback where she talks about Dana, I think she did say that she was shot. Yeah, I think so. I don't know. I have to go back, but I think she does say that.
Yeah.
Okay.
I need to look this up after we're done.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. And she aims the pistol at the guy who's cutting Will off. And the therapist says that the recent events of the factor being of past traumas. And now she sees double vision, but she says, no.
That would be a lie. The form is there.
Liar.
That would be red.
Oh, Kym. You don't have to be so strong all the time. And Will's like, Kym! Right? Because he's like, hello, save me, girl. And she starts to put her fingers on the trigger. It looks like she's starting to pull it, but she's huffing and she's shaking and she's trying to pull it. But I don't know. We don't know what happens because we just hear another.
Save your man! Save your man! Pull the fucking trigger.
It looks like she started to pull it, so I don't know because it's a little bit back, like the finger. But we are left with the cliffhanger, and we just have this panicking. So we don't know. Will is hanging by what thread? Okay, by a rope. So, okay, well, there we go. Everyone's dealing with their trauma, and now Lauren she stops and she just sees herself as though the building is burning. Zephyr, ATST combined, and we see little baby Dylan there once again.
Oh, and the bomb is strapped to her.
Yeah,
the bomb is like strapped to her waist.
Wait, what?
The bomb is strapped to her waist.
Yeah. Like, right.
Oh, okay. The glasses are coming off for this. What?
I did not notice.
I didn't notice that either. I just noticed.
Does she feel she's a ticking time bomb because she's so obsessed with Dylan that she can't get it over it, and like she's putting herself in danger because she's so obsessed?
This is a actual visualization of her self-destructing. She is self-destructing herself.
Yes.
She can't get over it, and she can't let herself learn the truth because
is it the same time?
Oh
my god, it's all zeros. It's all zeros.
Oh shit. Ha! It is.
It's zeros. Well, yeah, it's all zeros on there. Oh my god.
Oh, it really is. Oh, and this little bitch, he really is giving Pride from Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood. If you guys have watched that amazing anime,
yeah,
it's giving Pride.
That's on my to-do list to do a rewatch this year.
Yeah, someone sent a GIF. I think Milo sent a GIF, and I was just like, "Oh, this bitch." But no, it really looks like. That's a great show, by the way. Highly recommend. But yeah,
that's one of that's probably the best ever made. Brotherhood.
Yes.
Truly.
Well, so Dylan, do you think she's finally like becoming aware of how obsessed she is with what's it called?
I think she's known for a while, but I don't know.
Yeah, I think she's known, but you know,
thing I've ever seen in my life. This last panel, like, like I'm already not a kid person. This really makes me not like kids. Like, look at this. Like, look at this panel. Like, would you ever want to approach a child? Like, no.
You know, I think that it's like, you know things about yourself that maybe, like, you know, issues that you might have. It's like, oh, I need to improve on this for myself, whatever, right? That is very different from actually kind of like realizing how destructive it is and like kind of giving yourself a wake-up call. So unintentionally, Lauren is like, you know, seeing for herself in this very traumatic moment for her. I think it's really like hitting her that's like she can't run from this anymore. I think the next time she sees Kieran, potentially if they have time to talk, could be when she finally asks about Dylan. I feel like this could be the signal.
I think this could be our cliffhanger. I think
it's the kick in the butt that we need.
If we get anything resolved this season, it might be actually her finding out and asking Kieran and finally getting.
I think that's great. I would love that.
I don't know though. I don't know how that's going to happen. Unless he magically shows up and decides to, you know, save the day and save her. I don't know how we're going to, if we really only have a couple of episodes left, I don't know how we're going to get a 𝗏𝗏𝗍𝗄 reunion.
That's why I think our not in the good way. And Kiwi, and Uncle Tristan are gonna find out, and all gonna be is going to find out and going to rage, and we're going to cut to Lauren being trapped, and it's going to be not good. So then we're going to have to wait until next season for them to finally talk about this, because that feels very much close to the finale type vibes. But that also
I did say in the Discord, so the entire soundtrack for this episode was the second to last of season 2.
Is that what Soph said?
Well, no. It's just the soundtrack. If she's following the pattern and it's going to be the end.
Oh boy.
This episode soundtrack was.
We're only going to get one more episode.
That's what I'm saying. If she's following the factory arc pattern, and this is the last arc, and she's going to use the last soundtrack for the next episode.
Maybe it could be using a mix of old songs too. We never know.
I mean, maybe she's going to finish up this ship arc and then we'll have more. I'm really hoping for more, because obviously I want more, but I'm mentally now preparing myself just based on the music.
I don't know. I mean, it's definitely a high drama, so it could be.
Because we know for sure there's at least going to be one more, because she teased on her Instagram, right? That there were panels for 158.
Oh.
Yeah.
I have to look again.
Well, it is very, yeah.
She hasn't been streaming, so I don't know.
Oh, really? Oh.
like 0, so.
Anyone else notice also? Sorry, we're at the end now. I scrolled a bit. They have a proofreader now.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. So
I
think
is a proofreader listed?
Yeah, they have a proofreader under the editor. And I'm just like,
about time.
I think that they noticed that there've just been a lot of typos recently. So they got a proofreader, which I'm like, why can't the editor also be the proofreader? Wouldn't that be their job? But also,
the editor is just for
story. Yeah, they needed a proofreader.
So funny enough, I was actually looking up jobs at Webtoon, because I am an editor, and my ended in 2001, and I didn't do anything last year, and I was like, well, I really need an editor job. And so I was looking at it, and there are editors, but they also have copy editors. So the difference is that like an editor would be more like helping you like move the story forward, like, okay, where what are your plans, what are you gonna do? And then a proofreader or copy editor be like, okay, is everything spelled correct? Okay, it's all good, let's push it through type stuff.
That makes sense.
Because
yeah, I guess
that's what when I worked and even in like journalism and stuff like that, you have an editor that you would bring your story to, be like, okay, this is my story that I'm bringing to you. This is what the direction I want to go with it. This is what I'm going to read. And he's like, okay, send it to, and when they like proofread it and they look at it, they're like, okay, I like what I see. This is good. Send it to copy edit. And then they would go through and make sure everything is spelled correctly, all that kind of stuff. And then they would push it to be published. So yeah.
All right.
So,
yeah.
Hopefully maybe one day you'll see my name down there.
Yeah, let's manifest that for you, man.
Crossed. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, good luck. Did you say you had a
So when I first started reading Purple Hyacinth, and I don't know if it was with you, Mindy, when we started doing these at first, but somebody mentioned the lack of color with Dylan before, and I think that somebody brought up that maybe she just doesn't remember him really well, because like they were like kids, like, so maybe she's not remembering features on him as well, like hair color and eye color. And that's why I was like, oh, maybe he's one of the circus performers, because we know that they are inherently tied with the Purple Hyacinth. And so I was like, oh, maybe like, and she's literally getting chased by this, like, the memory of Dylan this whole time, while she's literally being chased by a circus performer. I mean, it just seems a little like maybe, but I mean, I could also be completely off track. But okay. my actual theory that I wanted to save to the end is who betrayed her and told where she was. I mean, a circus performer was sent, and we know that Redcliffe is technically in the hands of the Royals right now. So maybe it was somebody tied to the Royals.
Wow, you're just
like her godfather.
In theory.
Well, I know that, like, because 𝗥𝗲𝗃 said he had a plan, and he told it to the Royal Stefan and the Royals and Stefan, right? where all the people he told about his plan. Is he using his niece as like collateral damage in this plan? Is it like, and he didn't tell Tristan?
We're getting into
but,
I don't even know.
territory here with
that would be interesting.
I
So
mean,
it's not
like,
evil.
The circus is now like technically under the royals. The royals are watching it. So I mean, I don't know.
It can't be okay. So it can't be Redcliffe, right? Because Redcliffe is like out of commission, can't give that order, and so is Bella. So it can't be Bella.
He gave orders though, didn't he? Like, well, not on the day, but like if his people are doing it, he clearly did give orders. And he talked to the leader about this stuff, right? So I don't know.
But then he talked to the leader and stuff like that. They would know that the royals are watching the circus. Like, so I don't know. Just that's why it makes me think that there's something to do with the royals there.
I don't know, because 𝗥𝗲𝗍𝗃 told Kieran it's the gods that need to be feared. So it makes me think that the circus members and the gods are actually like up to way more no good than maybe the court right now.
Yeah, maybe there are way more eyes on them than we saw, because like what Emily sent last week, how it could have been Artemis and who was it? The one who hypnotized Lauren, I forget. Was that Hypnos?
Morpheus?
I forget. Morpheus. He and she might have been in the cafe when Lockie were on their date.
That's what was so interesting. But I just have a hard time imagining the both of them going after Lauren and like killing those guards. Like, they're just so cute.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it could be that somebody just followed Lauren to her new location. It could be simple as that. It doesn't have to be Doc and the
Also, could be true, but I don't know. I feel like she's like really sensitive to that things. I feel like she would notice if somebody was like, that's why,
well,
you know, like we were
people
talking about the whole
when
red herring where it's like,
remember, she thought that people were following her then. So I mean, I think it's pretty plausible that people are following her since then. I mean, maybe it was Raphael. Like, even though Redcliffe's kind of out of commission right now, like Raphael could still be continuing his mission to find the purple hyacinths.
Girlfriend.
You know?
Yeah.
Yes, girlfriend. Yes.
Girlfriend in all but name.
But like, why right now? You
know? One thing I want to say quick before we run out of time is that I kind of like the idea that Kym has this trauma around guns, which is very similar to Kieran in a way. And I feel like that could be a parallel between them, because it seems like Kym got over, or like she hasn't properly gotten over it as we've seen, but like trial by fire, like she mastered the gun so that she wouldn't be afraid of it as much, which is why she's such a good sharpshooter, because she kept using the gun to like get over her fear of it potentially. And we know that Kieran is really proficient with the guns, but chooses not to use it for his own reasons that we think is linked to his own trauma. So it's like an
interesting parallel in the moment, because they both have issues with guns, but whenever it's truly needed in the moment, like whenever Lauren and her friends were about to be killed, and right after Lauren got shot, Kieran was like, fuck this shit, and picked up that gun and bang, 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 got them all. Well, like Will's about to be KO'd in about 2 seconds, and she's like shaking.
Yeah.
Like, why is she hesitating in this like, I feel like there's a little bit more to the gun thing with her than we know, because Kieran got over that real quick after Lauren got shot in the arm.
Well, or
like, I don't know.
Yeah,
why.
That's fair. But you know, different people react differently under pressure. So I mean,
exactly.
All right, so
but yeah,
just in a minute. Favorite panel. Mine is
Lauren in the cinematic countdown.
I know. I was about to say, I think that's mine too. I love the Kym one, but the cinematic one is
that or Will. Just Will in this episode has been
Will.
And of course your background, Mindy.
The cinematic one and the second to last one is super cinematic, where we figured out, where you saw that she has the bomb strapped to her.
Yeah, that too. Yeah,
my mind is blown right now.
All right, well, let's wrap up before we get kicked out. Thank you so much for joining on this episode. It was wonderful and fantastic.
Thank you again. Bye.
Wonderful as always.
Thank you to my current patrons, Susie, Lily, Molly, Veronica, Emily, Jo Rochelle, Saucy Tuggles, Anne Rose, Alexa, Misty, Joanne, Esther, I'm Watching You People, Emily Jean, Kay, Lily, Becca, Christine, Sadie, Teresa, Miss Castaldo, and Amapora. Your support is truly appreciated.